Alright guys, Seaver, and today I'll be talking about Scorn, which is an upcoming horror game coming to Game Pass in October. Some basic information about the game. It's going to be released in October 21st. Has a 24 gigabyte install size. That's per Game Pass PC app. It's day one on Game Pass, but it's also available on Windows, Steam, and the Epic Games Store, retailing at $40. It's developed by Ebb Software using Unreal Engine and published by Kepler Interactive. It's a first-person horror adventure set in what they call a nightmarish universe. So first up, we're going to talk about the gameplay in the world. I'm getting all this information from the trailers and also just the basic description that is on the Game Pass for PC app. So it's said to be a cohesive, lived-in world that is open-ended with interconnected regions. Now, each one of these regions is said to be maze-like with multiple paths, puzzles, and rooms to explore. Now, in the trailer, they have a huge emphasis on the puzzles. It seems like that is going to be a huge part of this, which makes me excited. Most of them did seem pretty simple, and they're used with mechanisms and such, and they're all part of the world. It looks really, really cool. Another thing they emphasize in the trailers is that important things can be missed by the players. It looks like you're going to be left on your own in this world by yourself, and there won't be much handholding, which is always great, especially in a horror game. Now on to maybe the most important part of this game, at least what is emphasized the most in all the trailers, etc., is that immersion is at the forefront of discussion. There are no cutscenes. Interacting with objects will have your character using their hands to grab the objects. Machines, presumably the ones you used in puzzles, are operated by grabbing the controls. All these things are in place to ensure that the player is fully immersed in this living, breathing world. Last thing I want to talk about is the in-game resources and how they will be managed. It's said that loadout is going to be defined and limited, keeping the player aware. Players will have to think about when to fight and how their actions will affect the game world. Progression will rely on using different playstyles. Now, while I'll say being resourceful and conservative with in-game resources is nothing new to a horror game, it's always something good in my opinion. I love Resident Evil and Dead Space, etc. In those games, you have to, manage your resources effectively in order to progress. As a horror game fan, I am pumped for this game. It seems like it would be a great horror adventure wherein your choices actually matter. I know that's kind of an overused phrase in gaming, but I'm serious. It reminds me a little bit of Dead Space and maybe some Resident Evil with the resource management, which is always a great thing. And with all the delays this year, Stalker, Starfield, etc., this very well could be the best game on Game Pass.